Welcome to the Chicago Street Course in Chicago, Illinois, a one-of-its-kind racetracks on the streets of Chicago. That's the Grand Park fountain right there, where we're ready for NASCAR Publix AI Series racing action today in the Arby's 125. Today we're going to go over your starting grid. Qualifying on the pole is Jay Bergermouth in the number 34. Next to him, Kostaki Corvestis in the 64. Thomas Annunziata in the 70. Qualifying third with Mr. Bear qualifying fourth in the 36. In fifth is Jackson Cottingham in the 07. With last week's winner, Sacramento Cali, next to him. Jax Holder in the number 2 in 7th. Nolan Crane next to him in the 44 in 8th. 9th, Wyatt Youngblood in the 12. That's your Vegas winner. And lining up next to him is Luna Morales. She won Atlanta. Brian Post coming into 11th with Landon Slagan in 12th. Redding Cali in the 65, qualifying 13th, next to Caden Gulo in the 48, qualified 14th. Michael Good in the 25 car, qualifying 15th. Gizmo Tech in the 38, 16th. Colby Brown in the 73, 17th with his teammate Micah Sanchez in the 18 position. 19th is Chase Ingram in the 01 next to Zechariah Cartledge in the 61. Cole Trudeau, your winner at Sonoma in the 21st position with John Bergermouth the third next to him. Josh Berry in the 18, that's your Daytona winner in 23rd with Alfredo Hidalgo next to him. Jingles Bells in the 25th position with Bailey Datz on his outside. Casey Bristow in the 92, coming in 27th. In 28th, Snowflake Bells. Danny DeStasio in 29th with Paxton Brandon in the 94 next to him. James Carney in the 66. 31st with Bryson Moody, your Auto Club winner, in 32nd. Jeff Bells in the 11th, qualifying 33. Ethan Eckert in the 22, qualifying 34th. Gavin Smith in the 13th, qualifying 35th. And rounding out your field is Mellon in the number 1, qualifying 36th. Well, we're getting ready to go racing. Let's take a look at the race info today. It's a weird track. A lot of tight turns. Temperature's 100 degrees on the track. Track is about 2.1 miles. Weather's 78 degrees outside, 45% humidity, partly cloudy with 2-mile-per-hour winds. And, well, from Chicago, let's take a look at our two guys who are in first. On the first row, that's Jay Bergermouth, a guy who really hasn't been great so far, and Kostaki Corvestis, who bested people out at Atlanta in the Gen 4 series. So the real thing is now is who can take home this race, because we have never raced here in the Cup or in the Xfinity Series in the history of this league. This is the first time. That's why we had the Xfinity Series. We cut down the amount of drivers who were able to race in these two series. And now, getting ready to go. The real question is going to be interesting. The Tower, we have 15 laps in this race, shorter race, but enough to make some big moves in these 15 laps, especially with the tight corners. I feel like just like every road course, somebody in the front pack is going to win this race. I'm saying top 5 rows has a chance to win in the top 10. Well, drivers still getting their looks at this track, under pacing, just to see how it is with a bunch of drivers actually on it. And man, is it going to be interesting. Well, yeah, that's a tight corner, and well, I feel like we'll see a lot of wrecks in that corner tonight unless they keep it clean. Big news in the Cup Series. Bruce Dudley will be replaced this season by a multitude of drivers who will not be able to fight for the championship. So Bruce Dudley is out of that seat at Penske due to his performance in the last couple weeks. And he will probably be demoted here. I think they're making a driver change mid-season. Depends on who is willing to take the spot. But as we get ready to go green here from the street course, the pace car takes the right onto pit road. Green flag in the air. Into turn one. Thomas Annunziata's got to show everybody why he's considered a road course ringer. So he's going to take away second place. In the back, still 2x2. Jake Rogermouth leads, but Thomas Annunziata right behind him. Throws the car in there. And behind, we got a car around. That's Colby Brown. And that's going to bring out our first caution of the day.
Caution, yellow flag.
And the caution comes out. Well, we're going to see what happened here. Right here, Gizmo gets into the wall and into the 73, which turns him around. And well, that's how the caution came out. That's really it. Gotta come back. And the leaders are starting to pace once again. We only went about one lap. caution shortened. They're going to get ready to go green once again. Road courses are boring, but we have them on the schedule because they're there. So, we are in an interesting spot, but a couple cars in the pits and a couple cars out. That is Bryson Moody, one of them. Another week where he has just, unfortunately, been out of the race early. Ethan Eckert and Gavin Smith both a lap down. Zachariah Cartledge, Daniel Estasio, Jeff Bells, all in the pits, and 3 cars out of the race.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. And Kostaki with a little bit of damage on that front quarter panel. I just noticed that. That is interesting. His front quarter panel has got a little bit of damage. And on board, Burgermouth. Jay Burgermouth is trying to make his run to the Cup Series. Once again, some Xfinity teams don't even want Bruce Dudley, looking at this issue that they've been having, and they're talking about it. And they've just kind of been saying that they don't want him on their team, and the only team that's really offered is Squeege Racing. So one of the guys on Squeege Racing will end up having to go to the Cup Series. Which one is looking like Micah said? Whoa! They're drifting through that corner. It's looking like Micah Sanchez is going to be the one to go to the team, or to the ride for the rest of the year. There's another way that this gets resolved. It's going to be one of the two teams moving a driver to the Cup Series. Either GKR or JBR, and or JBM, and basically it would be moving George Kirifidas III, who has not raced in a while since the start of the season because this ride was occupied by Kostaki Corvesis, to the Cup Series, or to the Xfinity Series, in exchange for Kostaki, who was in the 64, to drive the 12 for the season. Well, the big thing is Bruce Dudley will not have a ride for the rest of the season unless a team that is in very big need of a driver picks him up. It's kind of unfortunate, but the problem is it does happen. But he's been horrible during the season. And we're going to take a look back in the field. Bailey Datz with some major damage on the front end of that race car. He's limping at the pit road. And he comes down pit road. 10 to go here from the Arby's 125. And later tonight, we will figure out at the Cup race, just coming right up next, we will figure out who will be replacing Bruce Dudley in the number 12 car. And where he will be going, whether it's Xfinity or Trucks. And Trucks, big announcement, it's starting very, very soon. We just got to fill out the roster and potentially do it that way. Well, we definitely could see a rookie making their debut in the Cup Series. And the reason why they won't take Wyatt Youngblood and put him on is because he's fighting for the championship. He has a win, and they don't want to run him full-time in Cup and full-time in Xfinity for the rest of the season. So they're going to run a guy who really isn't in the playoff picture. Somebody like Osaki Corvesis getting his experience in the Cup car. As Jay Bergermouth continues to push for this team, who just won last race at Darlington in the Cup Series. Jay's grandfather, John Bergermouth Sr., just won that race. I'm sorry, Jay Bergermouth's father just won that race. John Bergermouth Sr. He is absolutely putting a clinic on with this field with 8 to go. Well, this is a very good time to talk about driver moves and everything. And the truck schedule that will come out. The truck schedule will be a shorter schedule that will probably follow the rest of the Cup schedule depending on when it gets hit. So it could be a little fun season. Season 1 of the trucks is not going to be too large. Unlike this season with 29 races, it may have like 10, 15 races. And it will be the first to use the chase format as a test for next season. It's now 7 to go here from the Arby's 125. And, well, Jay Bergermouth, 7.3 seconds away from Jackson Cottingham. Now the big thing is trucks is going to occupy a lot of time, but big thing is trying to get 3 races done in a day kind of kills. But we should be able to do it. And everybody just behind. It's like the field is just gone. There's Mellon back in 24th. Still 12 spots up from his last place start, but just unfortunate run for him in the last couple weeks. He's not going to lose the spot, obviously, but he just had bad luck. Entire last few weeks, and let's take a look back at the Cottingham versus Corvesses fight back here. On board with Kostaki. Jay Burgermouth, absolutely far away from the rest of the field, and shows he's been really good here specifically. Now, just like Cup, there will be 16 drivers who make the playoffs in Xfinity or in the Publix series. They'll just use different rules. It's just the same exact rules as Cup. And well, that 34 car is chugging forward. The way they come drifting through this corner. They can come drifting through this corner. I'm surprised. Usually drifting through that corner. Well, 6 to go. Coming to 5 to go now. Jay Burgermouth still leads. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. 2 to go now from the Arby's 125. And, well, Jay Burgermouth has put on a show. 7.8 seconds from second place. Oh, we're going to take a look back at where Thomas and Annunziata are, and everybody else is in a line. Jackson Cunningham's kind of got away as well. It's about 3 seconds ahead of them. But the real focus is on Jay Burgermouth, who just needs one more good lap after this. And he'll claim his spot in the playoffs. So, I was misleading last week in the Cup race. 19 races in the regular season, which means that even if we have 19 different winners, 3 guys who win races will not make the playoffs. As it's the white flag here in Chicago, and Jay Burgermouth, one more good lap, and he has cemented his place in the playoffs for the time being. It goes off of wins, but it also goes off the most points by wins, which means that's the tiebreaker. Your points is the tiebreaker if there is over 16 different winners, which in the Xfinity Series there's definitely a chance for, as we've seen 9 different winners so far in all these races. This may be race 7, but you know, we'll see when we exactly look at it. I think this is race 7, but then again, I could be wrong. But coming to the checkered flag off of the final corner, Jay Burgermouth is going to win at Chicago Street Course by about 8 seconds over the driver behind him. Jay Burgermouth, your winner from the Chicago Street Course in the Publix series. Well, kind of a boring race, but pretty good for this guy right here in the 34. It's going to be the first winner for JBM in the Xfinity Series in that Roto-Rooter 34 car. While we look at the results, let's take a look. Well, the race results once they come through. There we go. We're going to take a look at the race results. Coming in first place is Jay Burgermouth with Jackson Cottingham in the 07. Second. Third, Kostaki Corvesis. Fourth, Thomas and Annunziata. Fifth, Jax Holder. Sixth, Mr. Bear. Seventh, Sacramento Cali. Eighth, Brian Post. Ninth, Landon Slagan. 10th, Redding Cali. 11th, Luna Morales. 12th, Caden Gulo. 13th, Michael A. Good. 14th, Wyatt Youngblood. 15th, Alfredo Hidalgo. 16th, Colt Trudeau. 17th, Micah Sanchez. 18th, John Burgermouth III. 19th is going to be Jingles Bells. 20th, Josh Berry. 21st, James Carney. 22nd, Casey Bristow. 23rd, Chase Ingram. 24th, Mellon. 25th, Gizmo Tech. 26th, Snowflake Bells. 27th, Nolan Crane. 28th, Jeff Bells. 29th, Danny DeStasio. 30th, Zechariah Cartledge. 31st, Gavin Smith. 32nd, Ethan Eckert. 33rd, Bailey Datz. 34th, Colby Brown. 35th, Paxton Brandon. 36th, Bryson Moody. Thank you, everybody, for watching this showing of the Publix AI Series at Chicago Street Course, and we'll see you next week at Dover.